So this is the CVE-10 Mark II.
Yes.
It's an APS-C camera. It costs like $900, right?
Something like that, yes.
And what I got here is the A9 Mark III. It costs like $9,000 and the lens is like another $3,000.
Expensive setup.
Cheap setup. You're gonna have to be the judge. Which camera is which? Roll the clip.
So today I'm here with myself, my friend Peter, and another good friend. Where are you? There.
And yes, before I forget, then for those of you who've never met me before, then my name is Arnulfur. I'm a landscape photographer from Iceland, and I've been using Sony Alpha cameras for almost a decade. Now I know that this comparison doesn't really make a ton of sense, but my aim with this video is to try to figure out if most of us really need super expensive cameras, or if a cheap setup is basically just good enough. And of course, just have a good time with you guys.
One massive difference, of course, between this one and Peter's camera is the fact that he can film 4K 120 frames a second. I would have wished that they had added it in this.
I won this round.
I just would have wished that they would add in this, like the A6700. Then, of course, I am using the 16 to 55 millimeter 2.8. While what lenses are you using mainly, Peter? What? You don't have? Oh, okay. You only have the 16 to 35. Okay, so no 24 to 70?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, 16 to 35. It will be good. So then you have a. We do that, okay?
Perfect. I'll call you back.
Okay, bye. Now, obviously, the price difference is massive. I mean, what you can do with that camera, that is a global shutter, and it's insane. But what this little camera can do, it's quite good. I mean, I think for the size and money, it's great. Personally, if it's like between me and you, because like come in closer, I'm gonna tell you my honest opinions here. Then I would have wished that they made this camera a little bit better. I mean, for just a little bit more money, you can get the A6700, and then you have mechanical shutter, you have a viewfinder, you have like 120 frames a second in 4K, IBIS in it too, so this is not even stabilized. There's a lot of value you get in that camera for money. Sure, it's a little bit bigger because you have a viewfinder, but I mean...
All right, my friend, what is your thoughts on this small camera?
CVE-10. Like, I'm not an APS-C camera guy, but this feels like the ZVE one that I'm using. Just a tad bit smaller, eh?
Feels good in your hands, or too small?
I have pretty big hands, so
yeah.
it's a little bit too small for me. But it feels like if you want to have a compact size, it might be a good thing.
Do you think there's any chance that this can stand a chance to your in any scenario?
Oh, 100%. I think that this camera actually can produce basically the same kind of shots that can.
Now, Peter's statement is bold, and although it's true, it's also kind of not true at the same time. Let me explain. You see, the A9 Mark III is the first full-frame camera in the world to have a global shutter, which is absolutely insane on so many levels. And of course, it offers many advantages, one of them being that it does not have any rolling shutter, which the ZVE-10 Mark II suffers from a lot. Another big difference, as I mentioned before, is that the A9 can film 4K 120 frames per second without any crop, plus the IBIS in it is really good, so the footage it produces is just so smooth. On the other hand, the ZVE-10 Mark II does not have any IBIS, and if you guys remember that side-by-side comparison at the beginning, then I actually had to speed up the A9 slow motion footage by 200%, simply so it would match the ZVE-10 Mark II, because that camera can only film 60 frames per second in 4K. I know, that was a little cheeky, but if I hadn't done that, then it would just been so easy to figure out which footage belongs to which camera. By the way, Did you manage to figure it out? Now, there are of course some other things that makes the A9 Mark III 10 times more expensive, but with all that being said, then when using it for everyday filming and content creation, I'm not sure that you guys or me can see a massive difference. At least not like a 10 times difference. Or what do you think? Can you see it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your guys' thought on this.
Guys, what you're witnessing right now, we have to be really quiet. I see YouTubers in the wild. Doing some thumbnail things. Look, I'm gonna show you. This is behind the scenes, but we have to tread really lightly.
It's a fine specimen in the wild. Fine content creation specimen right here. The thumbnail only happens only one time of a year during the spring when the animals are made.
Now, one thing I do want to add here is that all of the clips that you've seen me throw up and show you with this camera are filmed in S-Log3 and then, color graded with my LUT. But more importantly, I can film in S-Log3 now with this ZV-E10 lineup because we have 10-bit color codec, which was a massive upgrade from the previous model, which when you tried S-Log there, it just fell apart and sucked. But now you can color grade, you can push the colors around and even retain more dynamic range because of that, which I find is really nice. Peter just showed me the B-roll he got with his camera and the 70-100mm f2.8 lens, and it looked absolutely sick. Now I'm gonna try to put that big lens on this camera and see if we maybe be able to capture something similar. Do you think you can capture something similar on this one, like you did?
100% you will be able to.
You just have to believe, right? It's about believing.
It's about believing.
In yourself.
If you do not believe,
you're not gonna capture the shot. So far, we've been filming a lot with both cameras, but Peter, I think, is it heavy?
Yeah, it's starting to feel a little bit heavy, yeah.
But I'm thinking we should, if you put on a 24-70mm and I have the 16-55 on this, so it's similar, crop sizes, then we should do a little bit of photo battle too. Ooh.
That's interesting.
that is not safe for work. That was. A few things I want to say about this camera is the quick button here to photo and video is really nice. We were playing a little bit with the photo and video. Now, obviously, the camera that Peter has is so many fishes. Yeah, in Iceland, we measure how good things are in fishes, and his camera is so many fishes better than this, obviously. I mean, the price tag is big, but with this tiny camera, you can do a lot of things, especially for everyday use or just making content in general. I'm gonna say that a massive camera like he has is kind of an overkill, especially for most of us that create online content or just wanna make some videos and grab a few photos. However, as I did say before, although I do like this ZV-E10 Mark II, then I would have wished that they made it just a tiny bit better because the A6700 exists. So that would have been my 2 cents. Plus, every time I'm taking photos with the ZV-E models, I really miss the, viewfinder. It's not there, so I'm always like, oh no, there's no viewfinder. Now, with all that being said though, then this tiny camera is actually pretty capable of doing a lot of cool things, and it is packed with a whole lot of surprises. And if you want to find out how good it actually is, then next, my friend, you should watch this video right here.